Hi, I'm John DeToro, and you're watching another edition of Dinner for One, a Single Man's Kitchen. Today's recipe is roasted red pepper soup. So there's two different types of peppers you can use. The traditional red bell pepper, which you can get anywhere, anytime, super easy to find. Then there's this one called the red shepherd's pepper. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult to find, especially throughout the year. The difference between the two, way smoother, less acidic, more of a luxurious flavor. Now, don't get fooled by this color. I personally have never seen it this color before. Usually it's like a vibrant red. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out. So this is the first time for me. It's going to be definitely the first time for you. So let's go over the ingredients. The ingredients today is super basic. You're going to have your red peppers, you're going to have your onion, you're going to have your chicken broth, 2 bay leaves, salt to taste, and a little bit of cracked black pepper. So how do you prepare the red pepper for this soup? Very simple. I like to half it, decore it, put it in the oven or barbecue if the weather's conducive, and basically burn the skin. And you're not going to necessarily worry about cooking the actual meat of the red pepper. You just want to burn that skin because we're going to be taking the skin off, and that's going to be the next step. So that's how you cook it. You're going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil into the bottom of the pan. You're going to place your peppers skin side up. All right, now it's time to roast the peppers. I preheat my oven to around 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I take the peppers, I put them in, I let them roast for around 10, maybe 12, 15 minutes. Keep your eye on it. The peppers have been in the oven for around 15 minutes. So what happens is that when that flesh starts to cook, it creates steam. The steam separates the skins from the flesh. It's going to be so much easier than when we stick these under the broiler. Now the skin is going to be kind of burnt, almost like a blackened. So when we de-skin the peppers, it's going to be way easier. Sounds complicated. I'll show you the method to my madness. The broiler temperature was set to high. I put my peppers in on the second rack from the top, and this is the end result. Next step, into the bowl. Then we're going to cover the bowl with some cellophane and then just naturally let it cool down. The peppers have been sitting covered for approximately 20 to 25 minutes. Now they're cool to touch. Take a pepper off, take the skin, hold it down, and just peel it off. And you're going to do this to all the peppers. And that's the end result. Now it's time to saute the onions. Take your pot, bring it to a medium heat. Once it reaches temperature, add the olive oil. Add the onions. You're going to stir every so often. You're going to get it to caramelize to roughly around like a cognac color. Once it reaches there, off the heat. We have our sauteed onions. We're going to take our peppers, add that, and we're going to take our 3 cups of chicken broth, add it to the pot, along with our 2 bay leaves. Put it on the stove, medium heat, and let it simmer for an hour. Okay, it's been around 45 minutes. I checked on the peppers. It looks fantastic. The aromas are incredible. It is getting a little bit thicker than what I want, so don't feel like you have to stick with only the 3 cups of chicken broth. I added another cup and maybe another 3/4 cup of chicken stock to the pot just to thin it out a little bit because it's over around 15, maybe 20 minutes of boiling time, and I don't want to evaporate too much. Okay, the peppers have been simmering for approximately an hour. Time to remove them from the stove and make the puree. So we have a couple of choices of different devices, a blender, a Cuisinart. I personally like going old school, a food mill. You're gonna put the pepper mixture in, basically pour it inside. You're gonna take this handle and you're gonna turn it. What that does, you can see, when you turn it, the blade on the inside is gonna push that mixture through the bottom. And you actually do have a choice of 3 different plates. This lets more through. This is super fine. The one we have in right now is the medium. So, time to make the puree. Okay, it's all pureed. Now don't forget, on the bottom here, you want to scrape all that off. And there is your pureed red pepper soup. Now, if you want to thicken that up, you can do so by reapplying this to the heat to evaporate more of the moisture. Soup is done and it looks fantastic. Another little presenting trick is you can put a nice dollop of some sour cream in the middle. Oof, so good. Garnish it with a little bit of fresh basil leaves. This soup is wonderful. When you taste the roasted red peppers and the sauteed onions and the sweetness of both going back and forth, it is very decadent and it is very simple, but yet tastes very sophisticated. You'll know when you make it and you serve it and you try it how good this soup is. So John DeToro, Dinner for One, Single Man's Kitchen. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for all the support out there and the questions and the suggestions and the challenges of some dishes that people have been forwarding me. I crave it. I welcome it with open arms, so please don't be shy. Send me a message. Hope to see you soon, and stay tuned for a lot more recipes coming your way.